Hello, everybody. Hi, welcome to the 2022 Alberta Bhayana Awards. My name is Caitlin Medrick, and it is my absolute pleasure to be your MC this evening as we highlight and celebrate the invisible champions of the not-for-profit sector in our province. This is the first year we are doing province-wide awards, and we couldn't be more excited to welcome you virtually here. So before we begin, a little bit about me and why I'm here in front of you this evening. I'm very honored to be here. My name is Caitlin Medrick. I am the owner and creator of YYC Princess. We do princess parties for children's hospitals, events, lots of different incredible magic making experiences within Calgary and Alberta. And today we are celebrating some of the most magic not-for-profits here in Alberta as well. So some of you know me as the fairy godmother of Calgary. I have spent the last 7 years sprinkling Calgary with magic when needed most. And I spent majority of my time in YYC dressing as a princess to make children at heart their dreams come true. So, a fact that's very widely known in Calgary is that I am the Calgary fairy godmother. But it was through my work with YYC Princess and other charities in Calgary that I came to be a part of the United Way and be an ambassador with the United Way. So I'm very, very grateful for that because it's led me here to you today. Before I continue, I do also want to welcome and say hello to our ASL interpreters. They are here making this award show a little bit more accessible for us today. So we have Robin and Shelley here at the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you and couldn't do this without you. So a little bit more about YYC Princess and the United Way. Together, it led us to working with United Way members and other volunteers in the city. The United Way does an amazing job at making the province a better place, from initiatives like Hope's Cradle to scholarship opportunities to recognizing industry heroes and changing the world one community at a time. I realized with United Way that I didn't need to put on a crown or a gown and hide behind a character in order to make magic and change my community. With the United Way, I got to do that by being me. And what could be more special than that in being a hero with your own face forward, which is so important and pivotal to what we're doing here today. You are those magic makers, and you are why we're here this evening. The magic you make in this province, your hard work and selflessness, the time you put in, your dedication to the people of this province, you are making this community and the people of your community seen and heard by being your own version of a hero or a princess. You are your own fairy godmother to so many people in Alberta. You've not just dreamed big dreams for yourself, but you've dreamed really big dreams for your community and the world around you. And we know that it isn't always as easy as waving a wand and saying bibbidi bobbidi boo. It's much harder than that, making those dreams for yourself and other people come true. And that's why you're here tonight. You've done it all, everything from books and libraries, accessible services, helping families on their worst days, Indigenous education and programming, free hot meals to people suffering from homelessness. You are the real fairy godmothers of this province. You are the magic, and you are the ones making this place that we live in better. So grab your glass slippers, put on your gowns, and know that tonight and every night, your magic doesn't expire at midnight. You will continue every day to change the lives of those in your community. A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. In dreams you will lose your heartache. Whatever you wish for, you keep. Have faith in your dreams, and someday your rainbow will come smiling through. No matter how your heart is grieving. If you keep on believing, the dreams that you wish for your community and your world and your province will come true. Okay, enough of me, enough singing. It's time to celebrate you for making Alberta a better place. All right, in the spirit, of course, of reconciliation and in our journey to reconciliation, we would like to acknowledge the land on which we stand, the traditional homeland of the many diverse First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people whose elders have walked this land before us, and those persons of whom we share this great land with today. We are grateful to work and live upon this territory together, and for the means to learn from all of the traditional peoples of these lands as we move forward together in reconciliation. Thank you to all of the partnership organizations who have worked together to bring you today's event, to expand this program province-wide and to increase recognition of the not-for-profit sector in Alberta. We would like to recognize all of the partners who made today possible, including the Bhayana Family Foundation, the United Way of Calgary and area, United Way Alberta Capital Region, United Way Alberta Northwest, United Way Central Alberta, United Way Fort McMurray and Wood Buffalo, United Way Lloydminster and District, United Way Lethbridge and Southwestern Alberta, Calgary Chamber of Voluntary Organizations, and Edmonton's Chamber of Voluntary Organizations. A huge thank you to these organizations and their staff for their time, outreach, and support of the Alberta Bhayana Awards. Yay! Finally, a thank you to all of you for taking time out of your day to join us for this celebration. It's wonderful to see so many people come together from across Alberta for the first time to celebrate the incredible work of nonprofits and their dedicated staff in our communities. So, with that, let's get started with this afternoon's program. To provide some welcome remarks, please say hello to Karen Young, President and CEO of the United Way of Calgary and area.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Karen.
Great. Well, thank you for that great introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just so delighted to be with everybody here today. On behalf of all the organizing partners, we really wanted to welcome you to the first Alberta Bhayana Awards. We're so thrilled to be together with everyone, celebrating the successes of the not-for-profit sector. We have so much that we need to talk about, share about, and to celebrate over the last few years. I also want to recognize the generosity of Raksha Bhayana and the Bhayana Family Foundation, who really have made these awards possible. And I've known Raksha for a long time now. We did some work together in Calgary, and she's done a lot of work with United Ways across the community. And I have to say, she is a true champion for the not-for-profit sector. And I know we're excited to have these provincial-wide awards this evening. I also want to acknowledge some of the special guests joining us today. We have the Honorable Michelle Rempel Gardner, MP of Calgary Nose Hill, the Honorable Peter Guthrie, the Ministry of Energy and the MLA of Airdrie and Cochrane, the Honorable Rajan Sawhney, the Minister of Trade, Immigration and Multiculturalism, Leela Ahir, the MLA of Chestermere and Strathmore, Joe Ceci, the MLA of Calgary-Buffalo, Evan Spencer, Councillor, Ward 12, City of Calgary, and Dean McLean, Councillor, Ward 13, City of Calgary. I also want to welcome any other special dignitaries who may have also joined us today. It's just a pleasure to have you here. And as Caitlin said, and thanks to all of you from the not for profit sector to being here. You know, this is a special day and it gives us an opportunity to recognize the work and dedication of people across our whole province and the sector who gave their all to help our community this year. This amazing group of people have been on the front line, showing up every day despite experiencing your own personal challenges from the pandemic. I want you to know you are true local heroes. You have been adaptable, flexible, compassionate, and relentless in the pursuit of improving lives and strengthening our communities. Thank you for giving selflessly for the benefit of the greater good. And tonight, we are shining a laser light on the amazing accomplishments from the not for profit community. And I am honored to be here with you all. Quite often, our work can go unseen and unnoticed, but impacts thousands of people. We are an economic driver, contributing 192 million or 192 billion in Canada annually and accounting for 8.3% of our GDP. Millions of people are employed in the not for profit sector, with millions more volunteering their time. And while our work has always come with its unique set of hurdles, the pandemic gave us new things to manage. We continue to do more with less, face increased demand with often fewer employees and reduced revenues. And yet, I am proud of so much that was accomplished through these trying times. Our sector came together in innovative and collaborative ways to pull our energy and resources to really make a difference. Things like Healthy Aging Alberta, a coordinated network of care to empower and inspire every senior to age how they choose with dignity. I don't know about you, but I am hopeful for what the future holds. The people being honored today show us what is possible. You show us why this work matters. You show us that we can do better together. We see you, we stand with you, shoulder to shoulder. Thank you for all you do, your passion, your commitment, and most importantly, your time. I'm also thrilled to work shoulder to shoulder with my colleague and dear friend, Rob Yeager, who is the president and CEO of United Way of Alberta Capital Region. He is now going to share a few words of inspiration. Over to you, Rob.
There we go. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for that, Karen. It is just an absolute pleasure and an honor to be here with you virtually at the first ever Alberta-wide Bhayana Awards. As Karen mentioned, I'm Rob Yeager. I'm the president and CEO of United Way here in the Alberta Capital Region, and my pronouns are he, him. And I just want to thank you all so very much for having me and for this opportunity, really to recognize the incredible work of the not-for-profit sector here in Alberta. And frankly, thank you just doesn't quite seem like it's enough to express the gratitude that I and we feel for all the hard work and the incredible effort that each and every one of you puts forward every single day to make our province better for everyone. The last few years, as Karen was mentioning, have been extremely hard for so many. And I think at times our sector feels the incredible weight of this on its shoulders. Yet in the face of these challenges, our not-for-profit sector staff were there for the people when they needed help the most. And you consistently and courageously rolled up your sleeves to make this province a better place during these very trying times. You innovated in order to engage with our communities. You delivered programs and services in new ways, and you supported program participants so they could continue to be successful too. And you're just so dedicated to building a better future for our sector and for our province. And through it all, you faced your own pandemic challenges, working from home while also trying to be a parent, or not being able to work from home and trying to find childcare, adapting to school closures and online learning, navigating illness and other challenges, and all the other life events that have happened during this time, good and bad. because the world just didn't stop turning. And each and every one of you here today changed lives, not just through the services that you provide, but by being there when someone needed you. Your empathy and your resiliency and your passionate drive to do local good is what makes Alberta an absolutely incredible place to live. And every single day, I'm just so proud of the work that the Alberta not-for-profits do for our communities. No one person, no one organization, no one level of government can solve our communities' problems alone, but by coming together, we can make lasting change and build a better Alberta where everyone can thrive. And I, for one, am incredibly excited about this future. Time and time again, I'm inspired by the small moments that show the potential that we have in our communities to help each other. And you have really shown your dedication to giving back and making a difference. You matter, and this work matters. And so thank you very much from the bottom of all of our hearts for all that you do for our communities and for our province. Thank you.
Rob, thank you. Thank you. I know some days it feels like lockdown was a lifetime ago, but really, I know that we are all so much more resilient because of it. So thanks for reminding us of that. Sometimes it gets lost in the hustle and bustle of normalcy again. So thanks so much, Rob. It really has been a few years of unique challenges for our province, as you said, and it feels good to be acknowledging the innovation and the successes that have come out of that adversity. So thank you for ongoing encouragement and support of the nonprofit sector. And now, joining us from Ontario, I am very happy to introduce Raksha Bhayana. Oh, it's an honor to have Raksha here, the CEO and the co-founder of the Bhayana Family Foundation. Raksha is a dedicated community volunteer and passionate champion for the recognition of the difference the nonprofit sector makes in our communities.
Raksha, if you could turn on your camera and your microphone again, please.
We are thrilled that Raksha could join us and celebrate the first group of Alberta Bhayana Award recipients. Welcome, Raksha.
Raksha, please turn on your camera and your microphone. There you are. And your microphone, please.
Yeah. Good afternoon and welcome to the first ever. Just hold on one second. I'm not, the technicals are not working. Okay. Good afternoon and welcome to the first ever Alberta Awards for the nonprofit sector. This evening is about you. You make an immeasurable difference to the people of Alberta. You are the social architects building the invisible scaffolding of the community. I hope you feel truly special in being recognized for your work. I would go further and say that you're extraordinary. Our foundation has been sponsoring these awards for almost 15 years, working in partnerships with the United Ways across Canada. I'm always in awe of the ingenuity and caring of every single one of our award recipients. Look at some of the myriad ways that you and your colleagues in this room have made a difference. Spearheading a pedestrian bridge project to showcase Indigenous artwork by children and youth. Leading the charge in climate change. Developing Alberta's tech ecosystem through groundbreaking innovations in education. Implementing a library lending program where residents can borrow a variety of items that are rarely used or expensive. Challenging the system to think differently, to be youth-centered, and providing wraparound supports for those with complex needs. This is but a very small sampling of the work that is being recognized tonight. Now in its third year, the pandemic has taken a heavy toll on our sector. Many of your organizations have been facing staff shortages and a decrease in revenue and an increased demand for service. What do you do in this process? You have continued to search for creative solutions. New service models, increased collaboration within the sector, increased collaboration across sectors to create economies of scale, new models of partnership and services. The list goes on. Everyone who excels in this sector is driven by something called passion power, an intrinsic need to improve the quality of life for others. You are not in this for private or financial gain. In the process, you transform shared beliefs and hopes into action. You give shape to our boldest dreams and our highest ideals. You represent the best of the spirit and soul of Alberta. Something that is not common knowledge, and Karen referred to this, is that on a macro level, you are vital to the economic infrastructure of Alberta. Your contribution as a province is on par with all industries. Over $22 billion annually, close to 7% of the GDP. More than 5% of the GDP contribution is considered as a major industry. How many people in Alberta know that? Nonprofits have never been recognized as a major player in our economy. Of course, the social return on investment is enormous. Can you imagine what our lives would be like sans nonprofits, arts, culture, recreation, sports, human service organizations, the environmental organizations? International research confirms the value proposition of nonprofits on every facet of our lives. Over the years, United Ways and our foundation have recognized more than 1,500 exceptional professionals from coast to coast, from 350 nonprofit organizations. You are part of this line of excellence. The awards that you're receiving this evening connect you with your colleagues here in Alberta over the years and nonprofit professionals across the country. Looking forward, we hope to continue to celebrate you, the invisible champions, by advocating for the creation of an Alberta Day of recognition for the nonprofit sector in partnership with United Ways. Nova Scotia has taken the leadership. They have had 2 days of recognition starting in 2020, and Ontario this year proclaimed an annual week of appreciation for the nonprofit sector. In closing, many thanks to all our political friends who have joined us today. Looking forward, Dr. Christie, to your keynote and to the amazing Cantillon Choir. Thank you, Rob Yeager of United Way of the Capital Region, for your compelling remarks. Thank you, as always, Karen, for your inspiration. Thank you, Susan Brooke, Kim Tran, and the Marcom team at United Way Calgary and the United Ways across Alberta for the organization of the nomination and selection process and this virtual event. As I said earlier, this event is about you, the award recipients. You create hope. As Emily Dickinson wrote, hope is the thing with feathers. Some of our greatest moments of success come through when a person's hope is restored. Hope is like feathers. Without further ado, let's begin the awards.
Raksha, thank you so much. That was so beautiful. they're inspiring words, and it's so wonderful to be here. Like you said, hope. Like, what is it? There's no better word than hope. So thank you so much, and thank you to everyone. And the next 13 recipients who have given so much hope to our community. Okay, should we get started? It is the first set of awards happening right now. Representing United Way's Community Impact Team, I am pleased to be joined by Quinton Sinclair, best name in the world, who oversees investments in Calgary and the surrounding areas. Welcome, Quinton.
Thanks, Caitlin, for that introduction. I'm really happy to be here on behalf of my United Way colleagues from across Alberta, and really truly honored to be presenting the Bhayana Awards alongside you for these incredible individual teams and individuals. This year we have 13 recipients of the Partnership, Collaboration, and Connection Award. This award recognizes organizations and individuals for unique efforts in creating partnerships and collaborating with other groups to expand impact in their community.
We will be introducing you to each recipient this evening and sharing with you some of the details of their incredible work and the impact that work is having within their organizations and the wider communities.
Fantastic. All right. So our first recipient for this evening is Jennifer McDonald Robinson. Jennifer oversees the Community Space Program at the Bassell Center in Edmonton, which supports individuals experiencing poverty with basic needs and case management services. Jennifer has served Edmonton's impoverished communities from the community space for 7 years. Jennifer partnered with leaders from the Mustard Seed to create the Street Team. She also built relationships with the Firefighting Training Center and the Emergency Services Academy to teach newly minted firefighters and paramedics how to successfully interact with unhoused community members. Collaborating with other Edmonton organizations, Jennifer facilitated the Inner City Check-in app, which allows for service providers to share key information and prevent people from falling through the gaps. Congratulations, Jennifer, and thank you for all you do in your community.
Yay! The Banff Library staff have worked incredibly hard since the beginning of the pandemic to maintain connection and positivity in their community. After reaching out to the town of Banff Community Services and Resource Recovery, the staff developed an item lending program, which is amazing. Residents can borrow a variety of items that may be rarely used, hard to store, or expensive. Power tools, sewing machines. This program stimulates lifelong learning, encourages social connection, reduces waste, which is amazing, and fights barriers in accessing these resources in rural areas. This is vital in a community where many residents are immigrants. The cost of living is very high. There are few indoor recreational areas, and indoor space is limited. A truly innovative program that will change Banff and Banff Library staff. Banff Library staff continue to grow and adapt with the needs of the community. So congratulations, Banff Library staff, for your creativity, dedication, and positive impact.
As an outreach coordinator, Terry Anderson was hired at the Golden Circle's Senior Resource Center in Red Deer during the peak of COVID-19. Due to the main building being closed to the public and all staff working from home, training and orientation was a challenge. Terry immediately got to work and has been an integral part of the recent evolution and enhancement of Golden Circle services. Terry sits on a group of agencies in the Red Deer area who serve seniors and other marginalized individuals. She brings a wealth of knowledge to that table and uses that community connection to bring greater services to the seniors at Golden Circle. Terry is dedicated to collaborating with other agencies to enhance the lives of the seniors she serves. Congratulations, Terry.
Robin Romano is next, CEO of Distress Center Calgary. Robin is committed to helping create systematic change and remove barriers to accessing services. Thanks to Robin's support hundreds of non-urgent calls to Calgary 911 have been diverted away from requiring a police response as part of a call diversion pilot program. It began in February of 2022. 248 non-urgent calls for help to 911 were assessed and transferred to Distress Center Calgary, which is 211, to ensure the appropriate response was provided. Police response to mental health and addictions is now supplemented by professionals in that holding for a word in that area, of course. One call to 911 came from the friend of a man who was going through a mental health and addiction crisis. The call taker connected the man to 211 for emotional support and to the mobile response team, an Alberta Health Services program that offers urgent mental health support or consultations in crisis situations. Thank you, Robin and the Distress Center Calgary, for this incredible initiative that contributes to the decriminalization of mental health, addictions, and poverty. Thank you.
All right, next up we have Steve Bentley. Steve is the Digital Content Coordinator at Calgary Climate Hub, a volunteer-led organization that unites Calgarians to support meaningful local action as a part of the Climate Reality Project. This is Canada's national network of climate hubs. Steve spearheads Calgary Climate Hub events and has organized the Hub and Spoke cycling event for years, which promotes cycling in Calgary and the need for improved infrastructure and rider education. As the host of the Climate Lens podcast and a Climate of Change Facebook webcast, Steve's mission is to produce approachable, entertaining content on climate action. Steve shines the spotlight on guests who are underrepresented in climate change activism and creates connections that are vital to in achieving climate justice for all. Congratulations, Steve, on all your success, and thank you for keeping the conversation on climate change at the forefront of all that you do.
Congratulations, Steve. Next up is Karen Henderson. Karen leads the school lunch program at Brown Bacon for Calgary Kids, providing lunch for more than 5,000 kids each day in more than 220 schools and engaging more than 400 volunteers working in 33 kitchens every week. These are crazy numbers. Congratulations, Karen. Karen led a team to create the Brown Bagging for Calgary Kids Community Group University, engaging leadership volunteers in learning around food preparation processes, safety practices, enabling volunteer groups to lead in preparing lunches as well. This year, Karen initiated collaborative relationships with other organizations that care for kids, specifically via summer camp programs. When Karen learned of a gap in providing food for kids in the City of Calgary's summer programs, she launched a pilot to deliver lunches to these kids. Karen also works with Cara Village Commons, Calgary Co-op, Trellis Society, and small businesses to deliver lunches to kids in need. Thank you, Karen, for all you do to support kids in a sustainable way. It's truly, truly magical.
Okay, next up, we have the Indigenous Initiatives team at Trellis Society. And for the past 2 years, they've coordinated Culture Camp with like-minded agencies who deliver Indigenous programming and land-based teachings. Culture Camp arose from the need for Indigenous youth to receive land-based teachings from elders and engage with their culture. Trellis Society has engaged Indigenous youth in the planning process as well along the way. So Culture Camp fosters strong partnerships between the Aboriginal Friendship Centre of Calgary, the Alberta Recreation and Parks Association, and Muskanawa, all of which support the process and program delivery. Culture Camp provides Indigenous youth with the opportunity to reclaim their culture. Thank you, Trellis Society and the Indigenous Initiatives team for working with local partners to deliver this invaluable experience to the youth that need it.
Absolutely. Our next recipient is May Susan Planta, Meals on Wheels Coordinator in Grand Prairie. May Susan Planta is dedicated to meeting clients' needs and using community connections to do so. Susan works with clients to set them up within the program, find volunteers, and create delivery routes. During COVID-19, Susan rallied the community to donate Easter and Thanksgiving dinner to isolated clients when demand on Meals on Wheels heightened. Congratulations on this much-deserved award, Susan, for all your efforts in reaching vulnerable people in Grand Prairie. Your community and your clients are so thankful for what you do.
Okay, the Way In Network is an organization I'm familiar with. The Way In Network is committed to advancing access to information and resources for older adults and improving the coordination of community-based senior services in Calgary by working with several organizations, including Calgary Chinese Elder Citizens Association, Calgary Seniors Resource Society, CARIA, and Jewish Family Services Calgary. The Way In also works with the Distress Center to refer seniors to vital resources. And by working with other agencies, they also provide sector leadership to the Minister of Seniors Advisory Committee, the Age Friendly Calgary Steering Committee, the Healthy Aging Alberta Community Leadership Committee, the FCSS Policy Forum, and the Calgary Elder Abuse Awareness Collective. During the pandemic, the Way In expanded its services by working with older adults through Action Dignity to reach those experiencing cultural barriers. Thank you to the Way In for this undeniable positive impact you're bringing to seniors in Calgary and across the province. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Loretta Gillingham. Loretta Gillingham has served the community of Red Deer through the Golden Circle Senior Resource Center for the past 12 years as the outreach coordinator. By eagerly working with their staff, volunteers, and service providers and community organizations, Loretta connects clients with needed information. Loretta is diligent and works tirelessly to ensure her clients promptly access the services they need to continue to live healthily, active lives as best as they are able to. Loretta has enriched the lives of countless clients through the Circle's outreach programs by connecting them with community organizations to optimize their mental and physical health whenever possible. Thank you, Loretta, for all the work you do to benefit seniors in Red Deer.
The Exception U is a Calgary nonprofit designed to help people become future fit for our rapidly changing digital economy. The facilitation team at Inception U works hard to use their personal connections to reach learners and build a community where Calgarians grow in their careers. The team includes Aldel Digan, Cheryl Best, Danielle Barker, Tony Grimes, Greg Fenton, Carol Sun, and January Hall. Each member drives community partnership according to their passions and experience. They are successful partners with Calgary Public Library. They're a resident partner of Platform Calgary and the education partner at Thin Air Labs. The facilitation team contributes to Community Now magazine and the Leaders and Innovators podcast. They also work with Joy to Job to educate high school seniors, support Mind Fuel in providing financial assistance to learners who don't qualify for government funding, and they delivered the Essential Skills series for the Women in Tech initiative through Business Development Bank of Canada in collaboration with 321 Growth Academy. What an incredible amount of partnerships to help people reach their career goals. Thank you, and congrats to the Inception U facilitation team.
Absolutely. Congrats. You're all amazing. And seeing the support you have for each other on the side chat here, really beautiful. Thank you. Next up is Frontier College. Frontier College has offered literacy programming in Alberta since 1902 and is a national leader in literacy and believes it is a right. Frontier College facilitates summer literacy camps in Indigenous communities across Alberta. In summer of 2022, Callista Oliveres led the summer camp project by partnering with 21 Indigenous communities across Alberta, offering training, hybrid model camps, and 1,500 literacy kits. Over 700 children benefited as participants and recipients of over 5,000 high-quality, culturally appropriate books. Callista shipped and often personally delivered books to the communities. She also collaborated with local elders to lead Indigenous language and culture sessions and field trips. Amazing. Callista's passion in building literacy in Indigenous communities is inspiring and creates ripples of impact. Thank you, Callista. That's amazing.
All right. As the Community Relations Supervisor, Jimmy Morrison runs the volunteer program at Operation Friendship Senior Society, which offers services to improve the quality of life for Edmonton seniors. When COVID-19 hit and the Senior Society Drop-In Center had to close, Jimmy was determined to stay in contact with displaced seniors. Jimmy is also actively involved with United Way of the Alberta Capital Region. He's the chair for their annual campaign and a volunteer community impact speaker. Working with United Way, Jimmy always looks for the best ways to financially support the Senior Society. He strives to find sponsors and organize fundraising events while working with other agencies, churches, the Rotary Club, and companies to benefit seniors. Jimmy goes above and beyond, always considering those he meets at the Operation Friendship Senior Society as his friends. Thank you, Jimmy, and congratulations.
Congratulations, everyone! Congrats to all the recipients of the Bhayana Family Foundation Partnership Collaboration and Connection Award. Your dedication to working with staff and organizations is truly inspiring, and it has, as you can see, such an immense impact on our communities. So thank you, everyone, and congratulations. We're going to take a really quick little breather here before we hear from our evening's keynote speaker. And we have a little musical interlude. We're lucky enough to have a performance by the Cantillon Choir. Hailing from Edmonton and the St. Albert, St. Albert, not the St. Albert. From St. Albert, the Cantillon Choir supports choir programs for singers from age 4 to adult. Tonight's performance is by their chamber choir, which is made up of youth aged 12 to 19. Recognized as one of Canada's leading children's choral ensembles, they have toured internationally, most recently competing in Hungary. How cool is that? So if you are hungry, now's a great time to grab a little snack while you listen to their incredible voices. All right, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Hi, my name is Heather Johnson, and I am the conductor of the Cantillon Chamber Choir. And we are thrilled to be here this evening to sing for you for the Bhayana Awards. We are an organization that is a not-for-profit society, and we exist on the lifeblood of volunteers. So we are so honored to be able to participate in this event. We've chosen to sing 2 songs for you today. The first is one that comes from a children's recording called A Duck in New York City by Connie Calder. This is one of my favorite songs of hope. This is From the Seed in the Ground.
You might find
our second selection for you this evening is The Rainbow Connection, a favorite of the Green Gentleman on the piano. This is a Muppet song. It's one of the songs that we're going to feature at our upcoming fundraiser called The People in Your Neighborhood. We selected this piece, again, because it's very uplifting and very hopeful and very beautiful. I hope you enjoy The Rainbow Connection.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you so much to the Cantillon Choir for those beautiful songs and for giving the healing magic of music to not just your community, but to us today. Thank you so, so much. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our keynote speaker this evening, Dr. Not Doctor, no, Dr. Joel Christie. Dr. Christie has over 30 years experience working with provincial and municipal governments in healthcare and community development. He is chair of the Premier's Council on Charities and Civil Society, aiding in women's economic recovery. Please welcome Dr. Christie to our virtual stage.
Joel, please turn on your camera and microphone.
There we go. Hello.
Hey, hi, Dr. Christie.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Well, thank you. We just made it. All right. So it's great to be here. Could you put on? I have a few slides with my presentation. Can you put those on? Thank you very much. So I want to thank you for inviting me here today. And it's a real honor to speak to you at the first annual celebration of the Bhayana Awards, which recognizes the varied contributions of nonprofit staff who often go so unrecognized. And this is absolutely vital. And I want to commend the Bhayana family for making this event and this evening possible. So I'm honored to be here, and as chair of the Premier's Council, I would like to just say a few words at this auspicious event. So the next slide. First, I'd like to provide a brief introduction to the work the Council is doing. Second, I'll speak briefly about the role of the not-for-profit sector in building vibrant, caring, and inclusive communities, the great work you're doing. A brief introduction to the Council and work. Then the work we will do will help reinforce how important the nonprofit sector is to Albertans, and ultimately why we are recognizing the amazing contributions of the nonprofit staff, which is always so vital. Next slide, please. Despite the very busy 2+ years since we were established, many of you may not know what the Premier's Council on Charities and Civil Society is. That's okay, because we've been so busy we haven't had a chance to introduce ourselves fully. And I'm glad to have this opportunity to do that today. The Council is one of the government's 2019 platform commitments related to the harnessing of the power of civil society. The Council was established in February 2020 with a mandate to engage in civil society and provide independent advice to government. This includes how government can support civil society's efforts, whether by reducing red tape, collaborating more effectively, or helping to build the sector's capacity. Our council has 15 members with diverse experience and perspectives, and from diverse areas of the province, both rural and urban. Now, a brief note on the definition and scope of civil society. For our purposes, civil society includes established nonprofit organizations and charities, as well as informal groups and movements pursuing shared interests. It also includes individuals and organizations from the private sector that are pursuing social good, and they really came to the forefront during the pandemic, as I'll touch on later. So civil society includes informal grassroots groups or movements that often play an important role in creating community and supporting our fellow community members. It includes the private or business sector, which are so important partners in the efforts to build strong, inclusive, and caring communities. So our mandate includes the private sector in relation to their efforts at building strong communities or pursuing positive impacts in the community. But there is no question that the nonprofit sector is the backbone or core of civil society. The nonprofit and volunteer sectors impact the life of every Albertan, from sports and recreation to arts and culture, health, education, environment, social services, community development, faith groups, and professional associations. The sector and its volunteers provide a vast array of programs and services and is the backbone of vibrant, welcoming, and engaged communities. So civil society then is the community of citizens linked by their mutual interests and contributing to public life and the common good. Some nonprofit leaders have described civil society as the glue that holds communities together. This is why I appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight, honoring you and representing the council. So I want to say a bit more about the idea of civil society, particularly nonprofit organizations. The role they play in our lives is really important. This slide says civil society comes first. So what do I mean by that? As I mentioned, the council was established in early 2020 based on the idea that government doesn't always know what Albertans in Calgary or in High River or in Three Hills or in Onaway, what do they need? And the government isn't always in the best position to address the issues facing communities. Community building is always led by communities, by the civil society organizations that are the backbone of all our communities, and by the staff, both paid and volunteers, that are the backbone of those organizations. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe government has an absolutely critical role, but it can't do everything, nor should it. And it really can't do anything alone. Helping government better understand the role of civil society organizations, what challenges or barriers they face, and how government might help address these challenges or partner more effectively with civil society. That's the core purpose of our council. Our mandate is based on the idea that the key to building communities, to the communities that we want, like vibrant, safe, inclusive, caring communities, is to ensure civil society flourishes. In other words, civil society does come first. I know organizations like the Bhayana Family Foundation and the United Way embrace and share that commitment to a flourishing civil society. My hope is that the council is contributing in a small way to that shared goal. As everyone here knows, civil society organizations played a critical role responding to the pandemic and addressing the growing needs of Albertans. They did this at the same time as their own operations were disrupted and their financial situations became more precarious. They were able to do this because of the kind of leadership, innovation, and commitment to community from their staff, and these are the ones we're here to celebrate. In 2020, the council was asked to provide advice on what would be required to help civil society recover from the impacts of the pandemic and build future capacity. How should civil society, how can that be supported to flourish? So we held a whole number of consultations with organizations, including United Way. And this resulted in our first report called Moving Forward, Charting a Path to Civil Society Recovery. And it informed the design of the government Civil Society Fund, which now provides one-time grants for organizations' recovery and capacity building projects. Now, that report's on the government site, and hopefully we could put in the chat the link to that particular report. Our second round of consultations explored the impact the pandemic had on women in particular. Our report defines issues that women encountered throughout the province, and in particular, complementary areas where government and civil society can work together to address these issues. So we actually interviewed a number of women organizations and other not-for-profit, faith, everything. And those are recommendations that are included in our second report, which the link, hopefully, they will put on the chat. So far, a total of 99 projects across the province have been funded through the Ministry of Community and Social Services over the last 3 years. The hope is that these civil society funds will help those organizations flourish. Even though these were government, the minister's decisions, and the council only provided our advice through the report, but we had no role in the actual allocation of funds. Now, first things first, the nonprofit sector not only can identify and address local needs and dynamics, but as a sector also contributes significantly to the economy of Alberta. For example, it employs 280,000 Albertans, and it accounts for $5.5 billion in gross domestic product annually in this province. The value of volunteer time is estimated at $5.6 billion per year. So in conclusion, after talking abstractly about the sector and providing the facts and figures, I want to conclude with what it all comes back to, because it all comes back to people. It's the people that show up day after day, providing their expertise, leadership, innovative ideas, and commitment to community. The people that show up despite occasionally being overwhelmed by challenges and often being under-resourced for the tasks at hand or the opportunities on the horizon. The people that show up despite often being underappreciated and often, I know, underpaid. It's the people that make the difference. Their efforts make our communities vibrant and livable and safe and welcoming. Civil society organizations are part of the heart of our province, and it is the talented and committed people, the staff and volunteers, that are the heart of every civil society organization. So I'm honored here tonight to witness the recognition being given by the Bhayana Family Foundation and the United Way of Calgary and area to some truly impressive people. People who perform because it's just the right thing to do. As chair of the Premier's Council, and more importantly, as a member of the community that benefits from your efforts, I want to thank you for the work that you do and for the honor of being here with you tonight. Thank you.
That's my cue. I was trying to write down a quote because it's so beautiful. People who perform just because it's the right thing to do. Like,
exactly.
Yes, Dr. Christie, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing all of that insight. I think you're absolutely right in that the people are the glue that holds these communities together. They are the glue of our society, and you, as not for profits, are you make every person, no matter who it is, old, young, rich, poor, able-bodied, disabled, marginalized, underprivileged, you make those people feel seen and heard, and that truly is what's going to change the world. And changing the world starts right here at home in our communities. So
absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Christie. Magical.
And I'll put those references on the chat right away.
Amazing. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing your insight and passion. But we have some other people that we need to highlight. So we're going to highlight the recipients of the Innovative Leadership Awards. We have 7 individuals and teams who we are honoring and who are receiving this award. They all demonstrate exemplary leadership in their work. These leaders play an exceptional role in helping others contribute to their organization and advance its mission. They have introduced new approaches or contributed innovative solutions to their organization.
All right. So first up, we have Jennifer Morrison, and she is the lead learning designer and strategist at Inception U. Inception U runs one of the most comprehensive and well-rounded 6-month full-stack developer programs in Calgary. And Jennifer was a pivotal leader in designing this programming. She also works directly with co-founders, CEOs, technical facilitators, essential skills facilitators, and other industry experts to create an exceptional learning environment that is relevant and purposeful. Jennifer is focused on providing Calgarians with the ability to be lifelong learners while fostering a high quality talent pipeline for local businesses. The constant curiosity, commitment to excellence, and admirable integrity that Jennifer brings to the team has ensured that Inception U continues to grow successfully. Congratulations, Jennifer.
Congratulations, Jennifer. Amazing. Our next recipient is the Boreal. Now, the idea for the Boreal was born out of troubling trends observed at Avenue 15, Trellis Society's 24/7 youth emergency shelter. When they observed a set of high-risk youth that were identified as needing complex supports, they engaged Trellis Society leadership to create a program that would help these complex youth, resulting in the Boreal team. The Boreal targets vulnerable youth experiencing housing instability within the social service sector. The team also works with Trellis Society, community resource officers, the police and the crisis team, probation officers, circle keepers, and local businesses for employment opportunities. Since the Boreal started, 2 youth have graduated from probation. The first youth to move into the Boreal in April has achieved and maintained sobriety for the first time in her adolescence. After just a year, it is inspiring to see the positive impact of this innovative approach. Congratulations to the Boreal team. That's amazing. Thank you for all you do.
Yeah, thank you. That is incredible story. So next we have at the Family Center in Edmonton. This is Hannah Weir, and she created a food pantry service for the community where she works. She found a local church and got the food bank on board. Hannah utilized the community members themselves that go to the pantry to be the volunteers and ensure it continues to run without her. The Patel Pantry successfully runs weekly with lineups around the corner. The community members involved also gain a sense of belonging and mastery because they can give back to their very own community through volunteering. Hannah is always looking for ways to make her community better and never takes credit. Today, you're taking some credit, Hannah, and we want to recognize her really for her important work. And thank you, Hannah, for this amazing impact you have in your community.
Wow. Our province is so lucky to have you all. Lena Awad is the Research and Programs Director at the Islamic Family and Social Services Association, where she helped build their refugee sponsorship program and leads programs to help newcomers find employment. Lena kickstarted the Global Stitches program, which offers emerging artists skilled in sewing, embroidery, and textiles the opportunity to transform upcycled fabrics into beautiful works of art for resale. To date, the program has empowered more than 25 women. Lena's work has been recognized by the International Refugee Council in Geneva and the Canadian Refugee Council. Lena reimagined the refugee sponsorship program by creating an online portal that educates the sponsor. The increased amount of face-to-face time the organization could offer to those seeking services. Lena worked hard to make this portal easy for other sponsorship agencies to use and enabled them to scale their supports to refugees and increase family unification. She also created a variety of free, engaging online modules about how to access banking and healthcare to support newcomers. Lena's work in reimagining the sponsorship process brought voices with lived experiences alongside innovative technology into the structural foundation process. She helped make one of the most complex and bureaucratic processes more humane, scalpable, and efficient. Humane is such an important word in that sentence. Thank you, Lena.
Thank you, Lena. Okay, so as a success coach at the Family Center in Edmonton, Nikki Hood supports schools and vulnerable youth through the All In for Youth program. When Nikki hears about a student needing extra support, not only does she connect them to the right resources in the community, but she creates opportunities for all students. Nikki also spearheaded a pedestrian bridge project where she is collaborating with the city of Edmonton and local businesses to showcase her school's artwork on a pedestrian bridge. And this is going to help brighten up the community and highlight Indigenous artwork. Nikki has also created partnerships so that the school can offer services from Hope City Church, the Bennett Center, the Neighborhood Empowerment Team, Amaskwasi Academy, Spruce Avenue Community League, Kingsway Business Association, and Kingsway McDonald's. Nikki wants students to know that there are adults in their lives that will support them, guide them, and help them access services. She wants to let them know they matter and are worth it. Thank you, Nikki, for all that you do with the Olin for Youth, and congratulations.
Thank you, Nikki. That's so wonderful. Will Kunyak and Eileen Fleming are next. They are co-chairs of the leading inclusivity team at United Way of Alberta Capital Region. They work to address community issues while advocating for 2S LGBTQ+ communities, intersectionality, and Indigenous reconciliation. The leading inclusivity team is focused on equity, diversity, and inclusion to enhance United Way of Alberta Capital Region. They help understand how to better provide supports to our community while taking calculated risks in pursuit of continuous improvement. Will and Irene reach out to local partners, consultation programs, and local education centers. United Way's more committed approach to equality, equity, diversity, and inclusion would not be possible without the leadership of Will and Irene. Thank you for your positive impact on Edmonton communities.
All right, and last but not least, Chelsea Nergard is the Empower You and Financial Literacy Facilitator at the Institute for the Advancement of Aboriginal Women, where she teaches financial training through ATB to women who want to change their lives and achieve financial goals. Through Chelsea's leadership and encouragement, 4 participants in the last program were able to use their savings and matched earnings to pay tuition, create a TFSA, or buy a laptop for school. Chelsea uses emotional support and acceptance to make the women in her program feel heard while teaching the finances are not something to be scared of. Chelsea guides the class through an Indigenous cultural lens. She's passionate about fighting generational trauma by empowering Aboriginal women to take hold of their finances and pass financial literacy down to their children. That's incredible. And thank you, Chelsea, for your dedication to improving financial literacy and supporting the goals of your students.
Chelsea, wow, amazing. All of our recipients, all 7 of you, plus all 13 of you, just absolutely making the world a better place. So thank you. Congratulations to our recipients of the Bhayana Family Foundation Innovative Leadership Award. Your dedication and your dedicated leadership and creativity make all the difference in addressing community issues. Before we end this evening, we have an opportunity to network and connect. We'll be providing 2 prompts to get the conversation flowing. Each prompt will have 2 tables lasting 10 minutes. The question will be announced by the Green Show's platform and also will be available in the chat. At this time, you can move from one table to another to connect and discuss the questions. If you can't get into a table, it's probably because it's already full. So try another table. We definitely encourage you to chat with some recipients and people that you haven't ever communicated or connected with before. So, step out of your comfort zone. I would say, have a drink, but whatever you need to do. At this time, you can move from one table to another to connect and discuss these questions. You're not required to stay at the table you joined at the beginning of the program. You can join whichever tables you like. And we want to give you all the chance to connect with other organizations and individuals in the nonprofit space because you're all amazing. So go tell each other how amazing you are because it's true. So we're going to take a few minutes to do that, chat with some people, meet some new friends, and we'll be back shortly to wrap up the program. Have fun, everyone. It's like blind dating. Hi, everyone. We are back, and we just want to say thank you so much for being here today and celebrating all of our amazing nonprofits in our communities. We hope this event inspired you and your teams and gave you insight into the undeniable impact that nonprofits have in making Alberta a better place to live. This work often goes unnoticed, and we believe this needs to change in order to create future positive impacts in our communities and also let people who need this work and need your help know that you exist. As the first province-wide Bhayana Awards in Alberta, we plan to continue this event and the awards to continue to recognize passionate teams and individuals who are making a difference. So, before we say goodbye, and in order to move forward, I think it's best that we remind ourselves of the good we put into the world. So, I need everyone who's watching to put one hand in the air and one hand over your heart. This is what I call the YYC Princess Oath. Repeat after me. I promise to always be kind. I promise to always be brave. I promise to always share. And I promise to always believe in the magic that's there. And that's you, and that's your magic. And I know, I happen to be very good friends with Tinkerbell, and she's actually going to sneak into all of your bedrooms tonight and sprinkle you with magic pixie dust. Now, it's not the flying kind of pixie dust, so don't jump off any tall buildings. No, this pixie dust is actually good for one free wish. I know you have big wishes and big dreams for your communities, but maybe take this wish for yourself because you deserve it. So close your eyes, think of something you want more than anything else in the whole world. And myself and all of us here at United Way and the Alberta Bhayana Awards, and of course my good friend Tinkerbell, will do our very best to make sure that wish comes true for you this year. Thank you so much for everyone who attended today. Congratulations to all our recipients. Your passion does not go unnoticed. Have a great evening, everyone. And we so look forward to seeing you next year because the dream that you wish will come true. The tables are going to stay open for about another hour if you want to hang out and connect with other like-minded individuals. If not, I wish you the best. And have a great Halloween. End your October. Hope you're dressing up. That sounds fun. Eat lots of candy. Goodbye and thank you.